What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxer coming back at y'all with another one, man. We got Errol, Spence, and Terence Crawford in the news this time. As you guys can see, these are tweets posted from last year as the fight was quote unquote 95% done according to Steven Espinosa last year, and out of nowhere at the finish line, the fight just crumbled apart. You know, so these are the tweets from last year. This is November. The fight was supposed to be done, made for like November 19th or something like that. You saw what Errol says. He claims the fight. He claims that he's having concerns over transparency on the revenues and expenses for the fights was the big issue that killed the negotiation. Cap, my side agreed to show him everything. You know, Terence Crawford wanted, he just wanted to know where the money was at and all that. You said, Terence Crawford said, funny thing is, Errol Spence, you knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. Your ass was on vacation with your family while me and my team was trying to make the fight for November and all this. And Errol Spence responded by saying, you capping again, not September, it was October 2nd. I went for my oldest birthday. He was dragging because you had to whatever. Talking about the pay-per-view. So like this fight was quote unquote supposed to be made so many times, man, and I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer and I'm not trying to ruffle nobody's feathers, but I just refuse to get excited for this fight until these two actually step into the ring. And first and foremost, let me just say the fight is not official. They just agreed to the fight date or whatnot. He said he talking about he didn't have a guarantee and he was taking the risk. MF, I did the same thing. I didn't have a guarantee. I just had a higher percentage. Terence said if he's his own so-called boss, then why did he have to talk to Al? That's right, you couldn't talk to you because when I did, you said you had to talk to your people. You a fool, all your little fans that don't know who you really is, but you can't fool me and all this. They was going back and forth, right? The fight, was like I said, the fight was quote unquote at the finish line last year, and this happened, right? So this is actually the reason why I just refuse to get my hopes up for this fight, bro, because I even made a video actually wondering if they had waited past the expiration date to make the fight happen. You know what I'm saying? I was wondering, in my opinion, personally, last year would have been the best time to make it because it's been so many great fights this year. I'm not sure that the fight would do as many numbers as it once would have been last year. Last year we were craving for a big fight. The boxing fans were really craving for a huge fight. We wanted a big fight, and now we've been getting them repeatedly. Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. We got Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. We just had last weekend Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Stephen Fulton versus Inoue. Like we're getting the big fights. I'm not sure that this fight does as big as it would have been. But let's look into it real quick, and then I can further give my opinion. Okay. So, shout out to BoxRec.com. It states, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford boxing fight set for July 29th in Vegas. It's finally happening. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford officially struck an agreement on a super fight that boxing fans have been desperate to see. They will square off July 29th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, according to ESPN Mike Carpenter. The two men are amongst the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. RingTV.com Anson Wainwright reported on April 4th that a tentative compromise was made on the fight for June 17th, but longtime boxing insider, I'm gonna get on that. But longtime boxing insider Dan Rafael said deal was not close and that June date probably wasn't gonna happen if things got across the finish line. Crawford, who is unbeaten in 39 fights with 30 knockouts, he scored a 6-round knockout over David Avanesian when he last stepped in the ring last December. It was his 6th straight successful WBO welterweight title defense. Errol Spence has also been unbeaten with 28 wins, 0 losses, with 22 coming by way of knockout. His last bout was a 10th round TKO over Yordenis Ugas in April of 2022. The lengthy saga leading up to today's announcement symbolizes a long-standing issue within boxing. Without one governing body overseeing the sport, it's all too easy for backstage politics and posturing to get in the way of the most obvious matchup one fans would pay big money to see. Crawford versus Spence was the only most recent example, and the protracted negotiation inevitable sparked finger pointing between the pair. Crawford said in November he reached out directly to the 33-year-old and his manager Al Heyman to reach a resolution. He claimed that he was taking all the risk and he was willing to take less money, but Spence camp failed to provide enough transparency to assuage him remaining concerns. So, then they get on the whole Twitter finger wars that they were going into. And it says, I just blame the business of boxing. I don't blame myself for even one portion of the fight not being made. I felt like I agreed to everything that I needed to agree to. I feel like I've done everything I'm supposed to do as an independent fighter to get that fight made, but there's only so much I can do. Yahoo Sports' Kevin Iole was damning of the whole thing, arguing that it makes sense. It makes the sport looks ridiculous and decidedly low rent. Sorry, the page kind of just flipped on me. Sorry. Sooner or later, you had to assume that there was so much money on the offer for Crawford and Spence that they could not do this. This will not be the most. This will not only be the most anticipated boxing event of the year, it could also help define the respective stars' legacy. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so listen. Once again, man, look, these two guys their names have been circling around each other for years now. We were talking about this fight since 2018. I can remember. I think it was 2000. It was like, I think it was 2000. It was 2018. When Terence Crawford and Errol Spence had their little face-off backstage, back behind stage, where it was at some fight. I can't remember who was fighting. Might have been Maurice Hooker or somebody, but they had their little face-off, their little run-ins with each other or whatnot. And we've been clamoring for this fight even before Errol Spence fought Sean Porter, before Errol Spence fought Yordenis Ugas. We were asking for Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence because we felt like these two were the most dominant in the welterweight division. And whenever you would bring their names up, it would always be 1A and 1B because they were that close. And ultimately, the fight is 50-50. Like, it's split down the middle. We don't know who's gonna do what. But time progressed. All right, so we had the whole his side of the street issue and everything, with Terence Crawford being with Bob Arum and all this type of stuff, and Errol Spence, all the belts, and a lot of people misconstrued that when Errol Spence said, "Why not take the easier route?" They thought he was talking about the opponents, but they don't. A lot of the fans don't know the business of boxing and didn't understand that he was talking about because all the belts were with his promotion. Why not go ahead and get all the belts and then I'll see you? Of course, we all know Terence Crawford then eventually leaves Top Rank, and the fight still doesn't get made, right? So at this point, this is why I refuse to get excited, because it's like at this point, if I get excited for this fight and it still doesn't go down, I'm gonna end up not liking both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, because at this point it's like you playing with my emotions now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what what he said on Friday, playing with my money is like playing with my emotions, Big Worm. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like that's how I feel, and I'm gonna get to. And eventually, if it comes to like that, and if I keep getting excited, it's gonna come a time where I just stop liking both fighters, and I'm a fan of both fighters. So I don't want to get to that, bro. I personally won't be excited to this fight until they are walking into the ring, bro. Because let's just say, even if this fight is a deal, right? If they announce this fight, which it's not, again, it's not officially done, people are getting excited. But again, we heard the same thing last year, and what did they say? They crumbled at the finish line. So it's not officially done. I just want to get that clear. Neither fighter has announced. It won't be official until you see the fighters announce it. Once the fighters announce it, then you can start to get excited. Again, I'm not gonna get excited until they're walking into the ring. Why? Because, bro, I'll get excited about this, bro. I've been so hurt by this fight not happening, bro. I even gave up on the fight, bro. I even made a video stating like, bro, has this fight passed its expiration date? But I don't want to get myself excited, right? We finally get excited. The fight finally gets announced, right? And then one of these dudes end up injured during the training camp and the fight is off, bro. That would really, as a boxing fan, that would really kill and hurt my spirit and my heart. And I would end up not liking neither one of them. So, bro, I'm personally, bro, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I will definitely stay tuned for all the, the press conference, the weigh-in. I'm gonna be involved with all of that. I'm gonna do a video on all of that. But I'm not gonna allow myself to get excited about this because, bro, it's just been so much going on that I just cannot take. I was super excited about this last year. I was thinking last year, as a matter of fact, the fight was actually supposed to happen originally in November 12th. And I remember I was in Hawaii. And I remember me and my bros was like, hey, we on vacation, but hey, we finna watch this fight though. Like if they fight, we definitely finna watch this fight, bro. Like we not missing that fight. Didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like this fight, I just can't handle. I personally cannot handle being let down by these two fighters anymore. More so, but more importantly, bro, I feel bad for the Jerron Boots Ennis of the division or anybody. Even the Keith one-time-a-year Thurman, because like these guys are holding up the division. There's so many fighters that we want to see get a crack or we want to see fight, but these fighters can't fight because they're in a ranking system organization where they have to wait. They don't know what to do because their next move depends on the champions. Like, they don't know if if the fight doesn't happen with Errol and Terence, then they might get a shot. It's just a lot going on, bro. So I just personally, I won't get excited until these guys walk in the ring, but I definitely will be keeping you updated with everything that's going on, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Will you get excited? Do you expect this fight to happen? Like, comment, subscribe, but what do I know?